NFTs Now. Artists, marketplace, and investor talk about the current ecosystem.
Hi there. So I hope, excuse me, I hope the sound quality is back.
Yeah, it's okay.
Great. So I'm so excited about this panel, and I'm going to have everybody briefly introduce themselves. But first, I want to just introduce myself again, since it was choppy. I'm Peg Samuel. I work at Anrkeyx in gaming NFTs. It's a DeFi game. And I've been digital since the 90s. So I did the first internet boom, and blockchain it reminds me of that same energy. And I've been in NFTs since 2017. I taught myself how to use the wallet with buying crypto kitties and crypto punks, and have been interested in this subject for quite a while. So I'm loving where it's going. And this conversation, I'm really psyched to hear and learn about everything that you guys are thinking. So why don't we just say a quick hello from each of you, and just a quick hello from each of you, and you can even mention your current project. Miko, you want to go first?
Sure. I guess I'm the token investor here. I'm Miko with Gumi Cryptos Capital. We actually led a very early round in OpenSea. So Alex and Devin, met them in San Francisco at our meetup that we host. And, I think that we are also early investors in YGG, or Yield Guild games. So we definitely are super excited about this space, and I think I'll just leave it at that.
Great. Olive?
Hi everyone, I'm Olive. I'm a visual artist, and I've been in the space since 2018, more or less, as a founder and as an artist, essentially. I guess in the 3-4 years, I've seen a lot happening in the space, and basically, I'm excited for what the future holds.
Zach?
Hey everyone, my name is Zach Burks. I'm the founder and CEO of Mintable. Mintable is an open marketplace for anyone to go on and create and mint, trade, buy, sell all their NFTs. We're the most flexible platform for creators, so it's really good for if you want to kind of stand out from the traditional kind of GIF or JPEG options that you have on other platforms. You can do all sorts of stuff on ours. So yeah, it's a little bit about me. I've been in blockchain since 2012, 2013. I've been in NFTs since 2017. And yeah.
Excellent. Steffi? Oh, we can't hear you.
Right, sorry about that.
It's okay.
Thank you so much, Peg, and it's lovely to be here. So my name is Steffi, and I've been involved in cryptocurrency from 2016. So I run a PR agency, and I've been working with a public listed company. And when the blockchain big boom of 2016 and 17 came about, I got involved into the space, working with different kinds of projects. Many ICOs, and obviously last year got into DeFi and then the NFT mainly from a PR angle, because I have got a podcast where I interview different kind of project, try to give to people or anybody that is interested into the crypto space basically a kind of like a different insight into the space. So what are the new projects, what actually NFTs is, and breaking down on some very important concept, because DeFi, NFT, they become like a buzzword, but it is important to educate people the value and the opportunity they are open in a world that is actually developing thanks to technology. So it is great to be here and have on the panel such amazing people working on new projects. So yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, Krista, would you like to quickly introduce yourself? Thank you we're psyched to see you.
Hi there, hi. Thank you for having me. I'm a digital artist. I have been practicing digital art since 2013. I recently minted the first NFT digital house in the world called the Mars House. I'm very much interested in the next generation of NFTs going into the metaverse, and the Mars House really is a harbinger and perhaps a catalyst for the upcoming lifestyle that we will have, which is XR, integrating virtual reality, augmented reality into our physical reality.
Amazing. Okay, so we have so many amazing people and limited time. So I want to just kind of jump right in. Olive, I mean, everybody's come in early days for this ecosystem, but Olive, can you tell us what caught your eye at first and like where you see things today in NFTs?
Well, great question. I guess I understood the implications of the technology long term. I've always believed digital assets, in a sense, on par with the real one. Tangible ones, real ones is not the right word. Tangible assets, and a lot of digital art has been undervalued historically, for no apparent reason, only that the argument that it would be copied easily, copy-paste and whatnot. So when I heard about blockchain technology, and especially about ERC 721 standard for Ethereum smart contracts, I was like, yeah, that's the answer. That's that, as simple as that. Now the provenance can be recorded, ownership and all can be securely stored on blockchain. So I guess that's, I saw the path forward. Digital art was the first wave. Obviously, it took the world by storm. It was super, super exciting to see. I think next wave are going to be gaming, branding. I mean, it's going to be a $1 trillion industry. I'm super, super excited. And
Yeah.
I mean, being here is a great honor, and creating in this space for such a long, long time. I don't know. It's pretty special.
Yeah, I agree. There's so many applications coming. So let's fast forward to Krista and talk about a little bit more deeply about selling the first house.
Oh, yes. So the process began during the height of the COVID crisis. It was last March when I began to really, become very motivated to create my dream home. And so I wanted to create a dream home that expressed my design philosophies and artistic expression of digital Zen. I want to bring mindfulness and a sublime experience into the digital realm, as digital as a medium. So for me, I wanted to create a house that heals using the ceiling and the floors as LED substrates. And I believe that in the future, architecture will, in fact, integrate complete substrates that cover the entire ceiling, floors, and walls, buildings and houses, because we're so into digital now. And so the house really was completed between March and May. And then December rolls around, and I became very concerned with the overprinting of fiat currencies around the world and the looming disaster that would cause. So I began to research Bitcoin and Ethereum for my own personal investment strategy. And I became very inspired by the movement of decentralization through blockchain, building trustless-based systems around the world. And so basically, I began to research blockchain for art. I discovered NFTs. Immediately, I discovered super rare. I signed up and I became whitelisted for February intake, and I minted my first piece in February. But I decided to mint the Mars House in March after about a month of really analyzing the landscape of NFTs. Very nascent space. I would say that the current structures of the platforms that exist right now are just the first generation. And so I can foresee that the Mars House, which I already intended to build as an AR and VR experience in the future, can actually be minted and sold as an AR VR metaverse home. because I also had a meeting with the CEO of Super World app, and they are the global AR interface of the world. And immediately after meeting Rish Lutlikar, I also became the global ambassador. And I knew that there is a future home for Mars House, which is why I minted it as the first NFT home.
So great. Zach, so speaking about minting here, can you talk a little bit about minting things to the blockchain? It's very easy. I figured it out like right after I watched all the Mark Cuban buzz. And just also maybe discuss a little bit about the secondary market and what your thoughts are there.
Yeah, minting wasn't easy before, back in like 2018. It was very hard. You had to be a programmer, right? And that's actually how, in 2017, I kind of fell in love with NFTs. And when I made Mintable, that's how we got started. Was I wanted to make a tool for people to make NFTs that didn't know how to, code. And this was before CryptoArk kind of took off. And so now, there's a lot of different options to mint. With Mintable, we try to do a very familiar experience. So we look at, Etsy and eBay and Amazon, and we say, okay, when you want to sell some jewelry on Etsy, what is that process like? And how can we replicate that so it's a familiar experience and there's not that blockchain hurdle? One of the things that we ended up creating was gasless minting. And this is really, really cool tech because this allows for you to make an NFT on the Ethereum blockchain without a transaction, right? And so you control it, you own it, it's in your wallet, you can do with it whatever you want. We don't, it's not centralized, it's not custody, it's not on a layer 2. And so this is really pivotal because this allows the mass market, right? We have a mom test. We say, can my mom make an NFT, right? My mom's a construction worker. She can barely use Facebook, but we want to build things that she can use. And we do that for every features, can my mom use this? And so gasless minting, it allows people that have no crypto get involved. And so we see, about 20% to 30% of our sellers that are making NFTs have zero crypto in their wallets. We assume that they just downloaded MetaMask, that they've never signed up on Coinbase, they've never used Kraken or Gemini, they've never invested in crypto. But now they can make an NFT, and when that NFT sells, they're getting their very first Ethereum without ever having to invest. And we've kind of turned that adoption curve on its head, where instead of going to Coinbase, investing your own hard-earned money, making a lot of money on it, and a year later deciding, let me go explore the ecosystem. Now people can dive right in and make an NFT within 2 minutes without ever having to purchase crypto, and they can earn crypto doing that. So it's really, really powerful. And then of course the secondary market is an aspect that you have to deeply consider in terms of how can you stand out. Right, back in the day, I was the first person to make money on CryptoKitties. It's a really weird NFT flex. And I've got a lot of CryptoKitties, right? And if I want to sell them, there's no way for me to stand out from the other CryptoKitties, right? It's just when I list it for sale, it's CryptoKitty 2,731, and that's it. And I got an image of it, right? The attributes, if you dive in, you can see those, but there's no way for me to stand out on the browsing page like a seller on Amazon would try to do. So we built something akin to this, right? We looked at Amazon and we said, what is Amazon doing that we can replicate? And so if I want to go sell my CryptoKitty on Mintable, I can put my own title, my own description, subtitles, tags, categories. I can even upload additional content. So maybe I want to, make some sort of explainer text or some sort of graphic, and to catch someone's eye so that they know, okay, I should pay attention to this CryptoKitty. Right? I can convey my story. And this is really important for secondary sales, because when you have a project that's got thousands and thousands of items and there's no way to differentiate your item between other items, your chances of conversions are very low. And that's why you'll find that a lot of people in the NFT space that are not super famous artists, all they can do is just promote it on social media, just constantly posting it left and right, because there's no way for them to stand out in that marketplace. But what's interesting is, you don't see that on Amazon. You never see Amazon sellers promoting their items on Twitter, right? They have other means to promote it, such as on their website and with affiliate links, but you don't see them shilling it. And that's because there's a way for them to stand out within Amazon itself. So we try to build that for that secondary market, and we think that that's really important.
I like that a lot, because I feel that the having mass adoption has always been one of my fun things to think that that's going to be my goal. And the fiat gateway for a few things, even though I also know crypto, it's just easier and quicker sometimes for me to pay with my credit card on the various platforms because I don't have to look and see if I have, right? And I really like that. And I like your point about storytelling. Some of, the NFTs coming out there is a story to tell around, the piece of, especially if it's a piece of, I used to just call it art in the blockchain because actually until even when I spoke on something in 2020, other than us in the crypto universe didn't know, NFT. I just said art and blockchain. Miko and Steffi, I want to ask you, with the NFT market so frothy, what are your thoughts on the current landscape?
I'll start and then hand off to Steffi. I'll try to keep my comments brief. So I do think we're crazily early with the technology. I do think that that if you think about the emergence of patronage as these wealthy kind of sovereigns come, we're really seeing the recapitulation of like a renaissance, right? So in a sense, the high end is really things like the Catholic Church hiring the Ninja Turtles like Michelangelo, so that's the high end, right? But the thing that I wanted to also underscore is the rise of the guilds. So, a super interesting thing I want you all to kind of know about is I want you to Google or go to YouTube and look for the Play to Earn documentary. Which is sponsored by one of our portfolio companies, Guild Games, because what they're doing is they're allowing people, largely in the Philippines, but also in Indonesia and Brazil, to play NFT video games to earn livelihoods. So, they have actually literally thousands of people earning their, doing pretty much fully online work in the metaverse. So, I just want to draw attention to that as something that's not frothy and very real and helping very real people, thousands of very real people. So, check out Play to Earn documentary. So that's my comment, and I'll hand out over to Steffi.
Miko, I think you just hit a very important point. The technology is very early, and yes, we have seen a hype in NFTs because it's basically what's happened in DeFi last year. So everybody just jump in. But I think one of the very important things is to understand what an NFT is and the value that carries. And I think that this is not really understood by everybody. And there is a much more important element of ownership that is changing in a world that is more decentralized and is empowering people. So it's not just about the art industry that should look at NFTs, but there is also the fashion industry that should look at, which is an area that I'm very interested in, and many other industry that for instance, even the real estate. So it's a different kind of ownership, it's a complex concept, and it's something that I would say to project, don't just jump in and try to use the word NFT because it's cool. You need to really understand the fundamentals and come out with a very solid use case, and that is something that can attract to investors, because we are not in 2017 when everybody is there giving money to everybody. And I think this is something important for everybody to understand. It is a space that is maturing, and you need to start from the fundamental. Understanding is the base in order to develop anything that has got a longer lasting impact in the economy and in the world. So this is my comment, and I think it's very exciting space.
Yeah, I love that. That's actually what had got me interested in blockchain in the first place, like the financial implications, not just for us that are already prospering, but in other places where people can earn or get money easier, the unbanked. Miko, to follow up on that question, what projects excite you to potentially invest in? Like, do you look kind of in the sector, or do you have several verticals within that you like to see?
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely very excited about the gaming and metaverse future reality segment. But one of the things we're very cautious about is that we think that the underlying blockchain technologies will continue to be highly fragmented. So there's so many blockchains that want to host NFTs, and that will be fragmented. And I think because of that, a little difficult to invest in platforms. We do think that experience environments will be fragmented, right? So, that's another thing. So individual game titles, or if something claims to be like the metaverse or I think anything that claims to be the universal metaverse, I think is probably pushing it, because we think experience environments will also be fragmented. So, Yield Guild is horizontal because it captures players, and OpenSea is horizontal because it captures cross blockchain buying marketplace, right? So we really look, when we invest, we really look for, horizontal plays rather than, things that are trapped in these fragmented vertical segments of experiences and in blockchain infrastructure.
I like that. Olive and Krista, I have a question for you. We can start with Olive. When you guys are working in your, as artists, do you work like solo, or do you have a whole team that brings your projects together?
Thanks for the question. That's pretty interesting. Nobody ever asked that. I work solo.
Okay.
Yep. I don't have a team of about 20 people. I kind of wish, honestly. I feel like now is the time to get like a bit of help with this and that. Yeah, but I'm used to working solo. Yes.
And Krista?
Yes, I actually work with teams. I do work solo in developing my ideas, obviously, but in terms of execution, I do have a studio that I work with, and I just find that right now it's all about co-creation and collaboration in the space. In this space, it is really about co-creation. So we all have to be open to that.
So my next question's open for, anyone really, but maybe, Zach, Steffi, Miko. I know there's investment in projects, but is there investment in people in terms of not just say like back to like a musician and an agent or manager, but in terms of artists pulling together teams or resources in order to create?
I think that that's a sort of a bleeding edge topic, right? Which is, I think that there are social tokens. So I think we are seeing the emergence of the investment paradigm in individual humans. If you think about the project investment paradigm of early stage venture capital, like our fund, we're super, super, super focused on the humans, but we tend to focus on, humans that are part of teams and projects.
Miko, I'm going to follow up on that, and I think that what this technology has brought up is actually the opportunity for artists to get funded and have the opportunity to actually realize something. So I think what Krista brought up about co-creation, this is really something very important now, because it's not just about artists trying to do something themselves, but it's like join forces to experiment. So as we said before, the technology is very early, and we are still experimenting on how we can actually change the ecosystem, we can change the structure. For instance, in fashion, if you see brands like Adidas and Gucci, they are experimenting with NFTs, but we don't know how those brands are gonna increase their revenue stream through, for instance, digital fashion. We still don't know what that is going to be, how it's going to happen. And I think co-creation, experimenting together, is so crucial at the moment, because that's the way that you can create more opportunity, and you will see the result is going to bring. So great opportunity also for artists to come out and say, right, now I'm going to be able to monetize my work. I'm going to be able to get funded. And I think there are platforms out there that give you that opportunity. All the NFT marketplace, or a company, for instance, like a project like Valuable, where you could, if you have a great tweet, you can actually monetize your tweet. I mean, let's forget about Jack Dorsey first tweet, but if somebody has got some very important statement, it can actually monetize on that. Anybody can monetize on their work. This is so important and is the fundamental of the development in the NFT space.
So I wanted to react. Sorry, I wanted to react super quick. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just wanted to add basically that the next generation of NFTs, as I'd mentioned, is going into XR. And on Super World, we actually can see soon we're going to have glasses, in AR glasses. So within the next 3 years, we can foresee that we're going to have an XR lifestyle. Okay, so NFTs are going to go beyond art. They're going to go into experiences. And if you consider what the creative economy will be around 3D digital assets that are programmable, then we can actually expand into architecture, skins for our homes, interiors. We can talk about digital fashion. We can see each other's fashion garments, sneakers, and everything is interactive. And think about also the experience economy of parties or anything you buy at the dollar store for like 1 hour of fun, you can actually have as an AR experience. And also XR. So a lot of brands now are actually coming to us and they're asking us how to really expand their brand experience and possibilities of engaging their community and co-creating the brand through VR and AR. Because in the future, we're going to have seamless transition between XR, the real world, and AR.
So Steffi, you said a word earlier that I really appreciated a lot, and then you said one that I didn't like as much. So the word that you used that I liked a lot was ownership, and I think ownership is really central because in a sense we're all trapped in an extractive paradigm, economic paradigm, right? So ownership is the opposite. It's the reversal of the extractive paradigm, and it's what the promise of this technology is to me. But I would say that the word that I didn't like so much was monetize, right? Because the word monetize comes out, like when you think about things like gamification, right? Like gamification is an extractive word, right? Like really what we're talking about is that everything in the future will be a game, right? So that's different from gamification. Monetization, it's actually that the artists will have ownership, right? And that they'll have a stake, right? And I think that's the thing that I like. So linguistically, that's all I'm saying. I think what you're really trying to say, I'm sure, is very aligned to that.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think there is also a different kind of, the language has to change as well. And the way we use words to express this changing, ever-changing environment is going to adapt as well. So it's a great point that you raised, actually, Miko. Thank you so much.
Amazing. And Zach, to swing back your way, what are you seeing in terms of, I know a lot of with your platform, people can DIY, but what are you seeing in terms of, do you have, an extra comment around this with like artists / groups / where we've gone with this current stream of thoughts?
Yeah, no, I think that there's a few actual, I don't know if I call them funds, you kind of could, funds, DAOs, projects, awesome people that are supporting artists by, here in Southeast Asia, I think, Gabby, a very well-known NFT collector, he started a fund for Southeast Asian artists who, maybe they can't afford to do their first mint. And so with this fund, and there's other ones like it, they will, support the artist, they will invest in that artist so that they can start creating art. And I do believe they get a little bit of the NFTs. I could be wrong, but I believe that is something that they're doing just to recoup the costs. In terms of us, I was actually in a Clubhouse talk, and I was talking with some different people, and one person in the NFT space asked for a collaboration system to find maybe a musician for their 3D NFT, or maybe they want to, turn their 2D into a 3D, and they want to collaborate with someone. And so this is something that we've added to our list of things that we're rolling out, which is a cool collaboration system so that you can, work together with other people across the platform. And that's really special with us because we have over, I think as of like this week, like 220,000 people on our platform that have created accounts. We've got over 500,000 NFTs that have been made on our platform. And so when we allow that creative avenue, for people to start working together, right? It already helps that we have like direct messaging, which is really cool. But something like this, I think, is really important because there is really no place that NFT creators can kind of work together in a, there's all these Discord communities, there's Telegram groups, and there's Twitter, of course, but there's no kind of job posting where I can say, hey, I'm a musician. Anyone need my help? Or, hey, I'm looking for a musician. I'd like to split it 50-50 if we sell the NFT, right? So I think these are really cool things in terms of the ecosystem and that supporting of each other and supporting artists.
Excellent. I could listen to you guys for another hour. So we're almost out of time. So my final question, and it's almost like a fire round for each person to say so, since we're almost out of time here. We're not the future. Our panel is not the future of NFTs, but the here and now, although the future is super exciting. So I just want to, the question is, what excites you the most right now about the ecosystem? And we can start with Miko, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm most excited actually about Yield Guild Games. So, take a note of the name, check it out. What they're doing in the Philippines to help people who've been affected by COVID is super real. Like, it's just a real thing that's happening that they're earning, to help their families. And so, I think you should check it out. Play to Earn documentary. It's really stunning, and it's a super great use case.
Amazing. Say the Yield one more time for us.
It's called Yield Guild Games, and it's the documentary is the Play to Earn documentary.
Totally. I have it written down now. Hopefully everybody else does too. Olive?
Well, the multitude of things. I guess the general way the society is changing thanks for technology, post-pandemic realizations, and so on and so forth. I feel like right now people are realizing the importance of the community and design of the community, building it. It's super, super crucial going forward in the future. And I see a lot of innovations in that realm. I'm excited about DAOs, different DeFi, decentralized finance tools that actually bring opportunities closer to more and more people. That's pretty fascinating. Aspect of cryptocurrency and blockchain, NFT boom, whatever was happening. Well, when it comes to NFTs, I'm excited for its implication in the art world. Seemingly, antiquated world is changing right now, and that's major, it really is. And royalties are in place. A lot of galleries are building NFT platforms. It's pretty fascinating that digital art now is as valuable as tangible. That hasn't happened before, and that's amazing to see. What else? I guess I'm excited for what the future holds, because it's gonna be massive in like a year or two. The space is not gonna be recognizable right now. It's just early days. I feel like so many companies, so many gaming companies, metaverses will emerge, and it's just gonna be huge. It's incredible. And I'm excited to be here. And thanks for having me on this panel. That was interesting.
Yeah, thank you. Steffi?
I'm going to be brief. I'm really excited about the metaverse. So how actually is going to happen, because we know it's been something that is in the gaming industry already, but it's getting out. And I'm really interested to see how it's going to be implemented, really. That's my thing that I'm most excited about.
Yeah. Speaking of that, Krista?
Oh, yes. So I'm interested in two things. I believe that the NFT can be a positive vehicle for social change, because you're changing the economic system of selling art, and therefore you can actually reinvest as an artist with the capital that you earn from your art into social capital, back into the communities. The sale of the Mars House, the majority of the sale of that of the artwork is put into the Continuum Foundation, which is funding a world tour of meditative sound and light healing installations around the world. We're starting in Toronto on August 20th to 22nd. We're going to Venice the week of September 13th, and then Miami during the first week of December. And we can actually, if you really think about it, if every artist can actually attach a percentage of their sale to a worthy cause, or just be a champion of a cause, I think that that would be very meaningful, especially when you have DAOs that can also get behind the art and the social impact of the art. And the second thing I'm very interested in is the metaverse and the actual social global change that it will actually usher into into the landscape. You're going to have a transcendent cultural revolution where you already have young people on Roblox having social interaction and getting used to that environment. We're going to bring that more into the fore with the metaverse and actual social interaction within our AR interface in the real world. This is going to create a transcendent culture that transcends traditional separations and divisions that we are used to: religion, race, nation state, et cetera, et cetera. So it's quite fascinating.
Yes. Zach?
I can't really pinpoint anything in particular because I can't see the future. And I know that a lot of things have changed. Every year something changes, right? Last year we did $330 million globally for NFT sales. This year we're already at 2.5 billion and above. So probably 3.5 billion this year. It's almost a tenfold increase, right, in terms of interest. We just did a drop with CNBC, and I never ever thought that we would be CNBC doing an NFT drop with them, right? So the industry right now is growing really rapidly, and there's no way to know what the future holds. You might see next year you're using NFTs in your daily life for things like coupons or tickets or registration, different documentation, right? And so there's really no way to know, but I'm glad that I'm in the NFT space.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you. I mean, if I say it really quickly, I think for me, the most interesting thing right now that's coming is the utility. And I also do like that the artists get paid, in perpetuity as things resell in the secondary market. That was exciting. And then just all of the things that, are being thought about and discussed about right now, watching them come to fruition. So I want to thank all of you guys again for joining and doing a little bit of a longer session. This was really fascinating and exciting. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Peg. It was a remarkable discussion. I loved it so much. And I also thank you, Miko. Thank you, Olive. Thank you, Zach. Thank you, Kim. Amazing. Yeah, I like the lineup very much. Yeah, and yeah, we had to see the NFT topic from the different angles. So that's amazing. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your time.